Chair for his closing remarks.
I don't have any question. Gloria, truth be told, 2 weeks from today, if you get all the people that congregated at the Lekki Toll Plaza and run a test, you would establish for sure several infections. Any mass gathering that does not adhere to the non-pharmaceutical initiatives or interventions that have been put in place, wearing of masks, social distancing, keeping personal hygiene, and avoiding mass gatherings, they become super spreader events, whether you like it or not. So I can say with a definitive voice that 2 weeks from today, get everybody that congregated in those places, not only at the Lekki Toll Plaza area, at the Unity Fountain here, and several areas where there have been mass gatherings in different parts of this country. We would definitely be contending with increase in infections 2 weeks from now. And that's why we must be extremely careful when we congregate. And not to let, when you gather together in such an atmosphere where people do not bother about whether they have face mask on, you are creating a potential opportunity for carrier vehicles that will convey this virus back to wherever they are going to. So each and every person that has attended and has not put up any form of protection for themselves and others, and they return back to their families, if they've caught the virus, it means that they are potential carriers who are headed to a particular destination. And they will get back home innocently. Their families will receive them. And that becomes a sport for further transmission. We are at the stage of community transmission now. And all these mass gatherings would only reinforce that transmission in our communities. And this is what we must avoid. As a country, like Dr. Sani rightly said, we have done pretty well in spite of the limitation in our physical infrastructure, health-wise particularly. And that we have dampened the spread of the virus, and the curve has been flattened. But we must avoid a situation where we will have a resurgence again. Experiences in most countries, particularly in Europe, is quite indicative of the fact that countries that thought they have overcome the pandemic in Europe and in Southeast Asia are having to deal with the second wave. We're just about getting over the first wave of infections in this country, and we're doing very, very well. So my appeal to people who are congregating with total disregard for the non-pharmaceutical interventions, for the sake of our loved ones, should desist from it. Because anytime you turn up at those mass protests or mass rallies, even the political rallies that we had, I've spoken about it here severally, there were potential super spreader events. And I believe that if those states where we've had all these activities will go back 2 weeks or conduct very rigorous tests of all attendees, in the next 2 weeks, you will see a potential spike in the numbers that are recorded in those communities. You can see even a slight increase in our slight increase on a daily basis now. Look at the number of sectors that we've opened up. International travels, schools, we're talking about NYSC. We are asking all civil servants below level 12 to return to work. We have allowed for non-contact sports to commence, but now we are including contact sports because football is a contact sport, though without a stadium crowd. Looking at all these activities put together, we have virtually very few sectors of the economy and our social life that is not open up. Places of worship are resumed fully. Some maintain social distancing, some don't. I had a course to attend a wedding this weekend. When I looked at how people were mingling, I said, these people have not stopped romancing COVID-19 with its potential dangers. And honestly, we have to be extremely careful as a people that we've been lucky this far with a population of 200 million Nigerians. Our fatality rate that we have recorded is within the margin of 1,116 to date. We are extremely lucky as a nation that we do not have to aggravate any situation that could cause a second spike that will come, seeing what is happening in other countries, as if the second spike always comes with the deadliest part of the virus. And as much as possible, my appeal to Nigerians is that let's continue as we await the arrival of vaccines. Let's continue to just comply with the non-pharmaceutical interventions. Vaccine will come, but it's not likely to come in the nearest future. When it so shows up, the big boys will corner everything and will be scrambling through the World Health Organization to participate in the solidarity trials, and eventually they will push for equitable distribution. But initially, some countries have even paid for supplies far in advance before the vaccines even show up. So our best weapon, our best vaccine for now is adherence with the non-pharmaceutical interventions. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman PTF, and all members, including our participants, our viewers, and listeners at home. Well, we really need to drive home the message that we received today. And to bring this message to you, I would respectfully invite Dr. Nnamdi Maurice